Good morning. It is March 27th, 2020, and I'm coming to you live from Little Man's room. Yes, this is Isaac's room. Once again, everybody's up in the house doing things, and I had to find a quiet place to broadcast from. Yes, welcome to my studio. It's a very high budget production that we have going on here. Lots of props and scenery, and you should see the guy operating the boom mic. It's great, good times. I already drank my tea because I had a staff meeting this morning. Heavy on the staff. I survived. I really didn't learn much of anything, but I'll share what I do know from it. The district is still working on a plan. So, yeah. I can't assign you new stuff that is going to be graded. I can just assign you supplemental work. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because that's what I can do. So this next week, they're going to be planning it. And then, of course, we have spring break after that. So it is actually still a break. So I'm going to force myself to not check emails, to not post anything after this next week. So we have this next week, and then we'll have a week off from April, whatever, through the 10th, and then we'll be back. And hopefully by then we have a lot more answers. So next week I might be starting to get more answers about where we're going with all this online stuff. So that's kind of where we're at. Your teachers aren't required to provide you with the supplemental stuff. So please know that if any of your other teachers are not on Canvas or are not doing things, that's okay. That's not like they're slacking off. We're supposed to be checking our emails and trying to reach out and stay in touch is a big thing. And direct you to the district's supplemental work, which has a week-by-week calendar of things to do. But that would be good for 10th graders. You can also do the stuff that I've put on my Canvas page. AP kids, I highly suggest you just do the AP stuff that's out there on YouTube from College Board. Do the supplemental work that I'm giving you guys on AP Classroom. If you haven't done that yet, I'm going to talk about it at the end of this video so my 10th graders don't have to sit here and listen to a bunch of AP stuff. So AP students, hang on, because at the end, I will talk about what I'm noticing online, what we're going to do for class, and then AP Classroom and things I've noticed there. So for today, since I'm in my son's room, there's, of course, lots of fun stuff here. Please tell me you know what this is from. Yes, it's a sword, a play sword. It's plastic. So bonus points if you know what sword this is. Maybe you email me with your answer. I'd like to see who knows. Whose sword is this? What is it from? I'm guessing most of you know this one. I mean, it's a little worn out. Obviously, he's had a lot of fun with this one. But I think everybody knows a Minecraft sword. So no challenge there. This sign up here behind me, I love you to the moon and back. It's actually the Death Star there. Yes, we know that's no moon. It also has the Millennium Falcon. I made that sign. But the Death Star and the Millennium Falcon are just vinyl stickers. But I did the painting on it of everything else. So, yeah, his room is space themed. What a surprise. And it has some Star Wars stuff in it. But he also loves planets and stars and random things. Here's his piggy bank. This thing is heavy. He's very proud that he saved up like $52 and something cents. He could tell you the exact amount. He's also got a lovely slap bracelet. Man, this gives me memories. I remember when these came out in the 90s when I was in like elementary school, and they had to ban these. We couldn't bring them to school anymore because teachers got so annoyed with them. Oh, I think that's why I don't teach elementary school. Oh, man. But yeah, slap bracelet. So that's a throwback to some days for me. So he has one of those. I think now teachers actually give these out. My, how things have changed. He also has a fidget spinner that he got from his sister. Remember when these were hot a few years ago? Some of you just annoyed your 6th grade teachers with these, I'm sure. And you'd like have them sitting there and you'd like try to do tricks on them. If I try to do a trick, it's just going to go flying off my hand. Fidget spinners. And the ones that light up, because you like, this isn't obnoxious enough. I need one with lights on it. Yeah. What else does he have over here? Oh, he's got is this a crocodile or an alligator? I think it's a crocodile. Alligators have the elongated, narrower snout, and this one's definitely a fatter snout. So, isn't that right? Am I right? I think I do. Anyway, oh, my other computer's telling me something. Okay, so random little toy there. Cool. Oh, you guys might like this. If you don't know, my son Isaac is 7. He's going to be 8 next month. April 27th is his birthday. And he loves Minecraft. He loves Legos. He's typical with all that stuff. He can tell you all about random stars in the universe. He can tell you all about, and maybe I'll invite him on here one of these mornings and have him talk to you guys about his favorite stars and planets and everything. He loves watching YouTube videos about it. I have him now hooked up with watching the Netflix series called The Universe. So he's doing that during this time off from school, is doing a little bit of that. He's also building and creating, but here's one of his Lego creations. And when you open this door, guess what? It has like lasers that shoot out of there. So use your imagination. So not only does he have these, but he also has this special secret door that opens up. So yeah, this robot is out of control. So this is what happens sometimes in the Thomas household. So yeah, I'm sure some of you built things like this when you were little. No? Yes? Okay. All right. So that's kind of cool. I better be careful with that. If I break it, he would be so mad at me. He also has this thing he did for school, which he still has not cleaned it up and put it away like I asked him. And let me see, I gotta hold this the right way. He took this to school for his, remember those celebrations back in school when you actually liked school? And it would be the 100th day of school celebration, and you'd have like a little party and everybody bring like 100 of something or do a little project. This is his 100-day one that he did. I just said, why don't you get some Legos and get 100 Legos and put them together? So not only did he put 100 Legos on here, I don't know if they're all on here still. He may have like taken some off of here, but he has a YouTube channel called Izzy Tries, IZZY, and then Tries, TRIES. I only upload a video like every month or so because I don't have time to devote to it with grad school, but I try to get something on there every once in a while with him trying different things. So this is an advertisement for his channel that he took to school for the 100 days of school. It has 100 Legos, and he wrote, if you can't see it, there's an I, Z, Z. See, look, he borrowed one from here for something else. And then a Y, and then tries. You got the T, the R, the I, the E, and the S. I think it's awesome and super nerdy, and I love it. I just love that kid. He makes me laugh like every single day, nonstop. I love his spirit. He cracks me up. He also has over here on his wall, yeah, there's Chewbacca. But he drew pictures of all the planets and in our solar system and the little fact about each one. So, like I said, I told you he likes the planets. I am not even kidding. Not even joking. No hyperbole there. Loves it. So I hope all of you guys are doing well. I hope you're finding things that you're fascinated with, interested in, and that you are pursuing those things. Some of you, I know, like I said yesterday, are doing video games and gaming it up. And I think that's great, especially if you're doing some of the social stuff, playing with your friends and staying in contact that way. I know my daughter's involved with all kinds of video chats with her friends. And they just sit there for hours with each other in the background. It's like background noise. It's really weird. I think it's weird. You guys probably totally think it's normal. But like she'll start practicing her guitar and her friends are sitting there at their houses doing whatever. And they won't even talk for a while. And they'll just like be listening to each other existing. Which is weird. It's just so weird to me. I don't know. Anyway, But whatever keeps you grounded, whatever keeps you sane, that's what's important at this point. Um, some of you, my 10th graders, have responded to the dystopian discussions online, which I think is awesome. Go back, check those, reply to your peers, see what they have to say, add to it. Just make sure we're always respectful in our conversations on there. It's just like being in class, the same rules apply. So I have two last things for you before I go to talking to AP kids. One is my 14,000 things to be happy about. We're going to do that first, and then I'm going to share with you my poem of the day. It probably should be called poem of the week because it's not like I'm sharing a poem with you every day like I would like to, because, variety is the spice of life. There's a truism for you. AP kids, that was a nod to you guys in the prompt. Oh, wait, there were only 4 of you who did it. Oh, whoops, I'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm going to find one of these, see if there's anything I want to say about it. Hopefully it's something good. So far, they've kind of been like, I have to make them interesting or happy. So let's hope it's a really good one. So I'm going to flip through here. I'm going to find one right here. This one, I'm feeling this one right here. Enjoying fall yard work. Why do I keep getting this kind? Why? Why can't I get something like puppies in a basket? Okay, fall is one of my favorite seasons. Hello, pumpkin spice basic. You guys should know that about me. So, fall is a lovely time. The air is brittle. There's these beautiful warm colors going on. Lots of fun activities and decorating and all that. The food is phenomenal. Okay, but yard work in the fall? No, that's all about cleaning up dead stuff. No one likes cleaning up dead stuff. If you do, go be a mortician or something. I don't know. I mean, seriously, I don't like having to scoop out a bunch of dead leaves in like corners and cracks of things in my backyard. I would say the only positive thing, happy thing I'll take about it is say about it. I mean, not take about it. The feeling you get when you're done. Like it's nice because it's cool out. So if you work up a sweat, it's not like you are, dying of heat like in the summer. So that's really nice about fall yard work. Plus there is a freshness about like the yard being cleared of all the excess debris. Although I am notorious for leaving that stuff over the winter and cleaning it up in the spring, actually. Like I did this past week. This past week, I finally chopped down a bunch of the dead stuff from my flowers, which I know I should really probably do in the fall. Whoops. Anyway, so there's that. 14,000 things to be happy about. Hopefully I'll find one eventually. By the way, that was a gift from one of my good friends from my writing group. She gave that to me. And so shout out to Anne for that little gifty gift that's coming in handy for this. All right, so my poem for today comes from a poet named Tess Gallagher. And the poem, well, let me tell you a little bit about her. And this comes from the Poetry Foundation, one of my favorite websites for poetry, poetryfoundation.org. So Tess Gallagher is a poet, essayist, and short story writer. She was born in 1943 in Port Angeles, Washington. And she was born into a logging family. So I didn't even know she was from Washington. I just liked the poem and picked it. Her early years were marked by the rhythms of seasonal work, as well as the landscape of both the Northwest and the Ozarks, where her grandparents lived. She earned her degrees from the University of Washington, where she studied with some other writers. Though she continues to live in Port Angeles, Gallagher's career has spanned countries. She has taught at various institutions, including St. Lawrence University, the University of Montana, the University of Arizona, Syracuse University, Bucknell University, and Whitman College. She has translated the Romanian poet Lilian Ursu and collaborated with Jacuko Satuchi, I probably slaughtered that, a Japanese novelist and Buddhist nun, on the book Distant Rain. She also owns a cottage in County Sligo, Ireland, where she lives part-time next to her Irish companion, the painter Josie Gray. And then they authored something together, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on about her poetry and all different books. What a cool life. I wish I could have a second property over in Ireland. What the heck? life choices, I guess. I don't know which path I'm on right now. No, no, I'm not having a midlife crisis. It's okay, guys. All right, so this poem is called Choices. How appropriate, right? Choices. I go to the mountainside of the house to cut saplings and clear a view to snow on the mountain. But when I look up, saw in hand, I see a nest clutched in the uppermost branches. I don't cut that one. I don't cut the others either. Suddenly, every tree, an unseen nest where a mountain would be. There you go. That's your poem for the week, day, whatever. We're good with that, right? All right, 10th graders, that's about it. AP, stick around because right now I'm going to talk about AP stuff. Yay, 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 yay. So see you later, 10th graders. Stick with me, APers. I'm never going to say that again. I'm never going to refer to you guys as that again. That sounded way too awkward. All right, so AP. Continuing to update Canvas. I heard some people are having issues with Canvas loading. They try to log in and it like has errors. So the big thing is to make sure you don't restart your computer, shut down the computer and log back in again. What it's going to do is like, reset some things with your internet connection and other stuff and the network and all that. So you need to actually shut down and restart your computer and then go to Canvas and see if it will work. I've had issues with trying to get onto Canvas on my MacBook. For some reason, it like freaks out when I try to go to Canvas and is like, this website's trying to track you. We don't trust it, blocked. And I don't even know how to get around it. So I have to keep going back to my school laptop for Canvas. So if you're using another computer, you might have the same issues I do with like my other computer thinking it's smarter than I am. It probably is. So for AP, they continue to have the online tutorials, which right now they're going over units 8 and 9, which is really reinforcing a lot of the rhetorical analysis skills that we've been working on, which is good. It shouldn't sound completely unfamiliar. So they have different techniques than the things that I've used, which I kind of like, is that there's some familiarity there, but then she's also giving you some other strategies to go with. So I would keep watching those. Do the actual activities. They give you the handouts that you can get in the section of the comments, the description of the video. They have links to the actual documents, both the prompt and any worksheets. So download those. Follow along. You can watch them back later. But they do them every day. So I wouldn't like fall behind on that and then try to catch up. You can also, they said eventually they're going to do review ones. I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head. I think it was like April 8th or something like that. So it's like during our spring break, I think is when they're transitioning. Maybe it was April 3rd. Anyway, so they're going to transition to review of really stuff from the past year. So from that point, you can kind of just like pick ones that speak to the skills you know you're lacking. So you need to be really reflective on where you think you're at. How do you feel about your ability to write an argument? Do you think you can build one on any topic and have a clear line of reasoning? I've put some resources in Canvas about line of reasoning. When we left, that was really where we were going next, was digging into argument even more than we did in the fall. In the fall, we'd had the basics and kind of a review and tried out a couple of arguments. But my goal was that we were going to spend March really focusing on hardcore argument stuff. So that's kind of thrown that for a loop. I think rhetorical analysis we've done quite a bit with. So that's why on my own video tutorials, I'm going to focus on argument. I think it's where I see that probably most of you need a review and some specific work on that. With that being said, in AP Classroom, that's where we haven't used that a lot. So what I'm doing is I'm unlocking some of those progress checks, which are really just like small activities to build your skills up to where they need to be. So I'm unlocking some of those early units pretty fast. I'm already going to be next week on Monday at midnight. Well, it's like, I always mess that up. It's like midnight Sunday, but 12 a.m. Monday. Anyway, it's going to unlock the next unit FRQ, which is actually a rhetorical analysis practice. So far, I've unlocked one argument, which was about truisms. 4 of you did that total. So I've already given feedback on those today, if you wrote those and submitted those to AP Classroom. So that was really good because some of you was able to see where are you at with argument and give you some specific ways I would improve your writing. Early on, it's not really asking you to write a full essay. It's asking you to write a thesis and provide some evidence and explain how you would use that evidence in your argument. But it's going to start changing throughout those lessons and get more complicated. It's to build you up. So doing those early ones, I think, is really important. I'm going to keep them open until next Friday, right before spring break. So there's really 3 FRQs I've given you, and it's one for each of the types. And they're not asking you to write a full essay. Now, some of you, I've suggested you just write a full essay. I know your writing abilities, and I've commented on there and said, for the next ones, I think you should just write a full essay. Because I think what the assignment's asking you to do is too simplistic for where you're at. So please be aware you can still write the full essay for those, even though the instructions are saying to simplify it. If you don't feel comfortable with the full essay still, I hope you do at this point. We're in March. But if you don't for some reason, then do what they ask, do the basics, and then I'll give you feedback on how you're doing with that. Because if you can't even do that, then yeah, I agree. How can you even write a full essay? If you can't even write a thesis statement that's clear and takes a stance and is arguable and defendable, if I can talk today, then you'll want to make sure that you're doing those smaller steps. So that's an opportunity I would do. And everything I've mentioned so far is on AP Classroom and on that YouTube channel for AP, which I have linked in Canvas. So make sure you're checking those, do those, get that practice. You'll need that. I can't give you a grade for any of this stuff, but I'm definitely giving feedback, specifically what you can work on. So take advantage of that while you can, because right now I got a lot of time to do that. When we get back to school, we're going to be on crunch time. So getting that personal feedback from me, you probably won't get as much because that's just the nature of the beast. But right now I can read most of what you write. It just depends how many people submit. The other thing I would do is check Canvas. On Canvas, I'm going to continue to put my own personal tutorials. I'm going to be continuing on with argument. I previewed a prompt on my YouTube channel that I posted that on Canvas. So I took you through annotating it and how I'd pick apart the prompt. And I asked you to please try to write it just to practice. My next video is going to be looking at some examples, like the actual released student examples, and seeing what they did with theirs. And I think I'm going to focus first on just introductions for arguments and looking at the introductions from each of those 3 examples and what I noticed that those students are doing or not doing. And then I'm going to talk about what maybe I would do to craft an introduction. I already mentioned it briefly in my annotation work because I already had some ideas going for how I would formulate that introduction. And if you're clueless about what I'm talking about right now, it's a prompt about humorists and if they are a benefit to society. And so you'll want to look at that. It's an interesting prompt, I think, because it's pretty general, but there's lots of ways to work into the prompt and find some examples that you could bring in. So I'm going to continue on that with my personal tutorials. I only plan on doing a couple of those tutorials a week, just to really give you something in depth. I noticed that the AP ones are pretty similar to what I'm doing as far as doing a screencast. So you can see what I'm writing and then me in the little corner. They're using Zoom too, and that's what I used for one of mine, was a Zoom recording. So I'm going to continue to do that. It's all supplemental. Remember, none of it's graded. I'm not going to judge you personally based off any of it. It's really just there to help you out so you don't lose your skills. And they're the skills we've been working on. And so I want to make sure you understand that and I can still answer questions and you can still get plenty of practice that you need and want. If you have any friends from AP who you keep in contact with through social media or texting, please message them and tell them Mrs. Thomas is crazy and she's adding a bunch of stuff and giving us things to do. Check Canvas, tell them that stuff. Tell them to check their emails. Sometimes it feels like I don't know if anyone is responding or reading those. I've had a couple of parent responses for my email a couple days ago, but other than that, I don't really know if people are getting the messages or not, except for the people that are actually submitting some of the work. So you can always check in with me. You can always email me a question or something specific you want me to go over in a tutorial. Issues you're having with the prompts, really anything I am game for. I'll also continue to add some fun websites, other things to expand your brain, get you thinking a little bit, maybe some articles on our Canvas page. So make sure you check that. Keep yourself and your family healthy and safe. That's number one priority. But I also know that a lot of you need something to do to keep your brain going and keep you busy. And a lot of you really want to do well on the exam and still plan to take the exam. So I feel obligated to give you something because I care about you doing well and doing your best. So make sure you have a great Friday, have an even better weekend. Make sure you're getting lots of rest. Make sure you're eating healthy. Make sure you're getting some exercise. Look, I'm sounding like your mom. That's my job. I'm like your school mom. That's what my 10th graders, some of them call me. They're my school kids and I'm their school mom. So keep yourself safe, keep yourself healthy, live long and prosper. May the force be with you. Again, have a great Friday, an even better weekend, and I hope to see you guys on Monday. Bye.